Hey guys, so this is video one on our series, The Basics of Playing the Guitar. I basically put together this series to help with students in the beginning who are learning, just the very basic elements of playing the guitar, and I want to have videos for you guys to practice at home with if you forget anything in the lesson and stuff like that. So just to go over the very basics of the guitar, most guitars that we're starting to play with have 6 strings, right? So we have 6 strings on the guitar, okay? Now, the way that we label the strings with guitar is the bottom string is number 1, so that's commonly known as the first string. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the 6th string's at the top. Okay, now if you want to know the notes for those strings, it is E, A, D, G, B, E. So that's going down. So if you strum down, we can also think of it as elephants and donkeys grow big ears, right? So it's kind of funny, but it works to remember the notes. So E, A, D, G, B, and E. Again, that's elephants and donkeys grow big ears. All right, so those are the open strings. So we call those open because you could just play them with the pick or with your finger, and you don't have to put your left hand down to fret the notes, okay? So now we talk about what these frets are on the guitar. So each one has a number. So we call this fret number 1, right here, see that? Fret number 2, fret number 3, 4, 5, all the way up the guitar. And each guitar has a different amount of frets. This is an electric guitar here that has 24 frets, okay? So that's more than most guitars usually have, all right? So basically what we're gonna talk about is, first thing, if we play the top string, which is the 6th string, right? Now if we play with a pick, we're gonna pick down. So down this way, okay? That's called a downstroke on the guitar. You can go down each string and play the downstroke. Now you might be asking, well, how do I hold the pick? Well, there's a few different ways to hold the pick, and it depends what you're playing. But the basic concept is try to put the pick down for a second. Put your thumb on top of your first finger like this, and just play the string with your finger, with the nail of your first finger. So try to play the string with the nail of your first finger, but put your thumb on top of it first. And you can kind of almost feel like what it should feel like holding a pick, but you don't want to just only use your nail, you want to have more strength in that. So we use a pick, and basically that kind of acts as an extension of your nail on their first finger. And basically I tell students a lot to just kind of do like a thumb war position and take the pick and put it like around by your first knuckle on your finger here, and have it point out, and just have a little bit of the pick sticking out. You don't want to be playing like that. So what you want to do is keep your fingers curved in like this and hold the pick so there's just a bit of the pick sticking out. Then if you decide to play something differently or move your other fingers around, the pick's still going to stay right here in between your thumb and first finger. You see that? So it's just past my first finger there. So that way, and it moves around depending on what I'm playing, but that's the basic idea. So that way when you play down, see how these fingers are spread out? Sometimes I might do that, even anchor the pinky or the 3rd finger down here on the bottom of the guitar underneath the 1st string, or even against the 1st string if I want to. That way I can feel a good, like if I'm palm muting and stuff like that, which is when you put your hand against the strings a bit. Anyways, the whole idea is no matter what I'm doing with these fingers, I'm still holding the pick here between the thumb and 1st finger like that, okay? There might be times where I kind of pull up my hand and play more with the fingers pulled in. Again, I'm still holding the pick between the thumb and 1st finger, all right? If you move on from that, you start to understand, okay, so we have all these frets on the guitar, so you want to push down the string to make a note happen on those frets. So if I'm on the top string, which is the 6th string, which is E, E is an elephant, okay? So if I want to play this 1st fret here, what I do is I'm going to actually push the string with my finger into the guitar, into the neck of the guitar, and this is called the neck here. So I'm going to push the string up against it like that, and then I play it, I pick it, and then you have a sound that creates a note that's higher than the open note. So this would be 0, and then I play the 1, that's F. Okay, so that's like 1st fret. Now if I want to go to 3rd fret, I can slide the 1st finger, I can also use my other finger here, okay? But just for basics, try moving your first finger up to the 3rd fret, push that in against the guitar, pick it, and you should have a G. That's the 3rd fret. G, right? Okay. Now, also you might want to notice that my thumb is underneath my finger here, creating like a vice kind of effect. Let me look at it this way, because that way I have more strength. It's like I'm pinching through the guitar. And again, I'm pushing the strings into the fretboard. This is also called the fretboard because there's all the frets on it, right? So you push the string into that. Don't pull it down because that puts it out of tune a bit. Okay, you just push it in against the guitar. You're basically pinching through the guitar like that. Okay. Now you might notice that a lot of times you will not see the guitarist's thumb if they're pinching behind directly underneath the fingers, but then you might notice that some rock and roll or blues guitarists kind of have their thumb up here while they're playing. If I'm doing something like that, the thumb might move up, but that's like a later kind of concept. For right now, you want to stick with the real basic classical approach of having your hand in a proper position pretty much all the time, okay? And then once you get that down, then you can start doing other tricks. That's kind of how I look at it. Then just basically understanding that each of these is a different note, so we also have to learn our notes, you know, at least on a real basic level in the beginning, okay? So the musical alphabet goes from A to G, and then it starts over at A again, okay? So it's like a 7-note scale, and the octave is the 8th note, hence the oct part. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and so on. The musical alphabet, that's what I call it. So, so on the guitar, we also want to learn that if we go up the strings, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, each fret is a different note, okay? But we'll get to that in our next video. I just want to make it real basic in this one. So, yeah, another thing about holding the guitar. So, as you can see, I have the guitar here on my right leg. That's like my favorite, most comfortable position. I don't let the neck go down or point down to the ground. The neck needs to be either horizontal or a little bit pointing up, okay? I mean, every once in a while, if you're doing something, you might bend down, but that's not a good position to get used to, okay? And then the guitar is pretty vertical, like this, but it's up against my body, you know? So I might bend it a little bit, but you don't want to get too slouched back like this, because then you have to reach, it creates more strain to try to reach over and play the notes. So if you hold the guitar more straight up and down and sit up straight, then it's easier to play it, actually. It's easier for your left hand to fret the notes on this side, okay? So I think that's enough for this video. I just want to keep it real basic and start off with just understanding what the guitar is made of. I should say real fast that this is called the body of the guitar, right? This is called the fretboard and the neck, and this is called the headstock, the top. This is the head of the guitar. And these are the tuners. So these are what you turn either tighter or loosen to make the string go into tune. So it'll either tighten or loosen the string, okay? And then also this is called the bridge of the guitar. So this is like, kind of looks like a bridge drive across, you know? So that's where the string's attached to the guitar, okay? And it's different on an electric guitar. You see here, a lot of electric guitars have all kinds of different bridges, so it can be more complicated, electronics and stuff. This one has springs behind it and everything. But yeah, so basically that's just kind of the two different styles of guitar between electric and acoustic or classical guitars. Okay, so thanks guys, and I'll see you in the next video.